What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Top 5 Friday. Today we're going to be doing game franchises, the top gaming franchises. I'll have five, you'll have five.
Our personal top 5 gaming franchises. Yeah, well, our opinion.
No, but not their opinion.
Do you want to start? Hey. First of all, number 5, the little kind of robot-y kind of thing. You didn't do that on the last one. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Because I asked for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Friday night. Don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I could sit here and pick my nose while I watch a brand new video. Whoa, Top 5 Friday. Top 5 Friday tonight.
Number 5, I'm going to have to go with, GTA. Out of the blue. I mean, look at me, crusty old man is only going to do vintage stuff.
Well, if you're going to do GTA on your top 5, I'm surprised it's that low, actually.
I mean, because I'm a crusty old man and I like vintage stuff.
Okay, that's fine. I have GTA on my list, but it is a little bit higher than that.
Right. I didn't get into the GTA series until, probably PS2 days, whenever San Andreas.
Oh, wow. So you missed 2 before that.
Yeah. Well, I went back and checked them out
Okay.
afterwards.
All right.
But it wasn't until, because when I remember we would go into GameStop and there would be hype for the San Andreas coming out, and I'm like,
so good.
I'm like, man, you know what? I'm finally going to check this franchise out. And so I did, and ended up really, really liking it. I mean, I really like the vibe of San Andreas. It does have that, early 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
What blew me away about that game was I'd never experienced it. And I know there are games that are vast, and I'm sure on PC and, MMOs and stuff like that. But nothing I'd ever played was that vast. And so you could just go.
Especially at the time on console.
Right. And so you could go and explore, and I'd go up on those mountains and look for Bigfoots, and it was it was super cool just going around and exploring. It was awesome. And so every game that's come out after that, I've just been like, this is the best thing. And I mean, all the times we played GTA 5, that was
online,
just one of the
GTA 5 online.
Just the amount of care and that they put in the games. It's, you can tell that it's like they give a damn. All the detail, sheer amount of detail. And it's just fun. Just, hey, I'm going to drive up this mountain and just jump off. Because you can't. You sometimes can't do that in real life.
You're not wrong. Good pick, GTA. Good pick, number 5. So my list right here. I'm sure some of you guys can probably guess my list as well. Is it still a like uncommon known thing that we do modern game? But it might not be so commonly known that we do modern gaming.
I think most people do know, but
maybe, I don't know. So my list is, and you hear my list, you might go, "Oh, that's really generic." But
you're gonna hear Sean and Eric go, "Well, Billy doesn't play anything past 1994."
This is probably going to be no surprise. The surprise in this is that it might be this low. But I'm going to go with Tekken. I'm going to go with Tekken franchise. If you want to get an old school tie into it, I've been with it since Tekken 2. And honestly, from that point on, there was no other fighter for me. And I played Mortal Kombat, and I played Street Fighter, and I've even, played newer stuff. I like Tekken, and as ridiculous as this might sound on the surface, it's actually a more realistic fighter than a lot of other fighters. In the sense that, like Street Fighter, they're jumping halfway across the screen. You know what I mean? They're jumping, they're jumping like superhuman kind of. You know what I'm saying? And just the things that they can
all
do.
Do that in Tekken.
No, they don't. They don't.
So I don't know anything about Tekken.
And this is something I like about Tekken. I like that it is I guess the physics of it will be more realistic than any other fighter out there. The combo system, in my opinion, is way more complex than any fighter out there. So, anyways, Tekken number 5 for me.
Okay. Tekken.
Number 4. What you got?
Number 4. Let's see. Number 4. I'm gonna go. Castlevania.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing I was kind of struggling with on this list is I was debating whether or not to put it on because I know with the GTA they're all coming up with new games and they're going to be amazing. It's not necessarily the case with everything that I've picked. Castlevania, it's more of a, hey, everything from when it was first invented to to sometime in the 2000s.
Okay,
with the DS stuff and because those were good too.
I know you love Super Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo.
Right.
You're actually pretty damn good at it. I hate to give you credit, but it's just facts. You're pretty good at that one.
Yeah, not the first one so much, but the fourth one. But no, every game that's ever come out throughout the 90s and 80s, they're great. Whether it be on the Game Boy or the game whatever. I don't know why I was about to say GameCube. The Game Boy or the NES or the Super Nintendo, the Genesis.
What about any
TurboGrafx?
Okay, so hang on. To be fair, the 64 one was pretty.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, I did. I blocked that one out of my brain.
What about PlayStation 1 Symphony of the Night?
Symphony of the Night is great. It's amazing. Okay. And the Rondo of Blood.
Okay.
On TurboGrafx.
Okay.
Amazing. Okay. And when they started carrying on into the the side-scrolling 2D side-scrolling ones off the DS, so when they started to employ more of a Metroidvania.
Gotcha.
Still liked it, but once they start getting into like the PS3, the 3D, where it's just like a God of War, action slasher.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out on those.
Okay.
But,
okay.
So that's kind of why I was like, man, should I put it on this list? But at the end of the day, I play so many Castlevania games that I was like, I gotta put it on here. I was driving down the road and I actually saw there was a Burger King using an old Burger King sign. Nice. And I was like, wow, that's
nice, dude. Everything is like just so cold now. It just looks like
it's all minimalistic. And
yeah, it's stupid. All the McDonald's are being redone. That McDonald's that was in Dallas that was shaped like a Happy Meal. Guess what? Not anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
Why just
Taco Bell looks all fancy and flashy and metal and
give it some personality.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with giving it some personality.
You'll
have people going, hey, let's go to that McDonald's that looks like a giant Happy Meal.
I've done videos on unique McDonald's across the country.
So why would you not want to do that? No, you probably have someone in corporate being like, all these buildings have to look like they're a modern art center.
Yeah. The one, at least when I filmed it, the one by the Dallas Zoo still looked, kind of jungly, kind of theme going on, especially on the inside. But I remember I drove out to the one off 635 in North Dallas, and I was like, I know that McDonald's is, we're getting so off topic right now. Maybe that's another video, right? Shit that's changed that we're just not happy with. But I was like, I know this was shaped like a Happy Meal at one point. And like the handles on the top and everything, and I actually had to Google it, and I found the address, and I'm like, I'm standing here, but this ain't it. So that was very disappointing.
It's idiotic. I don't get it. Like, it's so just clinical. They gotta make them clinical and cookie cutter.
I hate that. Oh, I hate that. So, anyways, keep going, Castlevania.
That's all I had to say.
Okay, Castlevania, was that on the Konami collection that was released recently?
There were quite a few of them on there.
Quite a few of them on there?
Okay. I believe it.
My number 4. My number 4 is actually going to be Legend of Zelda. And I'm going with Legend of Zelda because the original Legend of Zelda is in my top 5 NES games all time. Matter of fact, it might even be top 3 all time. I've played everything that was on console. I played, and admittedly, I've not done a lot of the handheld stuff. And I know I've missed some great titles on handheld. I've just never really been much of a handheld guy, so gasp out there for that one. I didn't like Legend of Zelda 2 on NES, and I gotta be honest, I just can't stand Link to the Past. I tried to play it even recently, and I'm like, I'm just out. I can't. I just don't like it. But Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I love those two. Twilight Princess is an extremely underrated Legend of Zelda game. I don't think Twilight Princess gets the love that it deserves on the Wii, and that was on GameCube as well. And then Breath of the Wild, which again, I know you're not a fan of, but holy crap, that game was, in my opinion, like that's as close as I think Nintendo, well, hang on, at the time, because then Odyssey came out. But that was as close to like perfect as Nintendo could have gotten to anything that they've ever done, in my opinion. Yeah, Breath of the Wild was amazing, and I know you don't like it, but Breath of the Wild's in my top 5 Zelda games. So
I mean, I don't. Well, I'll get to that.
have we done top 5 Zelda games? I know Zelda's going to be on your list. I just don't know where.
To that hint.
Okay.
Hint.
But for me, doing it from the beginning and like the challenge, the puzzles, especially in Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, the puzzles and whatnot were like they really made you think, which I loved about it. Actually, I love that in a game.
Yeah, and that's why Breath of the Wild didn't resonate with me. I didn't.
Well, the shrines were still.
Yeah, but there's so few of them. Was there 4 or something?
Yeah, like 120, but close.
Yeah, but okay, look, I know, I get what you're saying. The shrines just they just after a while they seem repetitive. Like,
oh, absolutely not. I mean, some of them were super super easy, but there were some that were like really hard. I'm not gonna lie, like I did all 120, and even there was some and then there was some on DLC as well. And of those 120, I actually, and I'll admit it, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I actually had to look up solutions online on YouTube to like 4 or 5 of them. I just couldn't figure it out.
I don't hate the game.
The way you talk about it.
No, I've said this, and we have a video on it. I don't hate the game. It's just not a good Zelda game for me.
Okay, I can understand that. I can respect that. I got you.
If it was just like you put in like any random characters, I'd probably be able to appreciate it a little bit more. And maybe that's silly. I don't know.
No, it's not. I understand.
But when I'm playing Zelda, it's like I don't know.
Well, they did change a lot. Legend of Zelda number 4 for me, just overall. Have we done a top 5 Zelda video? I don't know. You guys know more about this channel than we do.
We haven't. Have I? I don't think so.
Again, you guys know more about this channel than we do. If we haven't done a top 5, I look pregnant. Number 3.
Number 3. So I'm going to have to go with.
You forgot your number 3, didn't you? That's why you write it down. You got to write it down. I'm just saying.
No, I know it, but I know what my top 2 are, and it's obvious. Well, maybe not obvious, but for the 3 spot, I want to make sure I'm not missing something obvious that I'm like, oh my god, what did I? No, but I'm gonna go with Contra.
Okay.
And in all honestly, maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Contra should have been 4 and Castlevania. Or maybe even Contra 5 and then Castle, but whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. We're not. This is scientific. I mean, it is what it is. But Contra,
it's your personal favorite. It doesn't matter.
I'm going with it because I can always go back to a Contra game. Contra, Super Contra, Contra 3. That's about it. No. Operation C on the Game Boy.
There weren't a ton of Contra games like there have been like Super Mario Brothers games or even Castlevania. Castlevania has quite a bit of games.
Right.
GTA has a lot of games. You mentioned GTA earlier, but
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it. All right, Contra is now an honorable mention. Because now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, what good Contra game has there been since
the first one?
Since Contra 3.
No, Contra 1.
No.
Alien Wars ain't that great.
Alien Wars is amazing.
Alien Wars gets really it loses me in level 2.
Yeah, but once you get past that,
and maybe that's the issue. I've never gotten past that.
Oh my god. And Super C is great too. Contra 4 is not so much. But look, regardless. I cannot think of one good Contra game after that, so I can't have it on
Contra
my top 5.
Hardcore.
Yeah, but I consider it's a good one, but I consider it in the same era.
I got you.
I don't mean
Okay, so
something that's come out in the last 20 years.
I mean, you're editing. You can make it sound like you never said Contra was number 3.
I mean, no, I'm gonna own it. No, but I'm thinking like my honorable mention was going to be Mega Man, but now I'm sitting here thinking like, man, there's
Mega Man.
But there's more good Mega Man games that I like than Contra. So why would that not be? So I'm going to switch it. All right, number 3 is Mega Man.
Number 3, Mega Man.
Mega
All
Man.
right, good pick, good pick.
Mega Man's number 3. There's been good Mega Man's released, even recently when they go back to Mega Man 10, even like 9, 10, and then 11 recently. Good. Like I'm not going to say they're better than the originals that came out. Hell, even like 1, but I do like them. They're pretty awesome. And I'm always down to play Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. I've always been a fan of the franchise. I remember renting the games back in the day multiple times. It was definitely one of those games that we rented several times and not just once, like Rocketeer on the Super Nintendo. God, F that game.
Rocketeer.
Did you fart? But they still do, when they want to, they can release a really halfway decent Mega Man 2, Mega Man side-scrolling game. So I'm going to go with Mega Man.
I know a lot of people are going to be applauding that choice. So I'll be the heel here. Mega Man sucks. Outside of 2, in the first 6, like 2 is it. The rest are like, eh. I don't like the X series on Super Nintendo. I just don't like him. Oh, look at Mega. He's sliding now. Good job, buddy. Good job, Rockman.
What kind of reasoning is that?
I'm throwing it out there. It's just
because you get a new ability, the game sucks now. Like
yes,
you're talking down on the game.
That's why.
Oh my God, you can slide now.
That's why. No, it's not just that. Like
look, no, I get you don't like it, but it doesn't suck.
I don't like it. Okay, all right.
You don't like it. Look,
okay.
I'll freely admit I don't like Breath of the Wild, but I'm not gonna say it sucks. I've never said it sucked.
All right.
I can objectively.
Logic over here. Why is that flashing? Should
probably
that be flashing? Batteries running low. Oh, okay. Well, it's a big surprise there, right?
Oh well, good thing I can plug it in.
Yeah. Oh, not wrong. Wow. Okay. All right. Am I on number 3 now?
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Do you want to take care of that first?
No, we'll try to get.
So number 3 for me, and oof, I gotta be honest. Number 2 and number 3, I couldn't decide which was gonna go where. So you could actually flip flop these for me, and I'd be okay with it. But number 3, I'm going to go with God of War on number 3, and
I thought about putting that on my list.
You know how big a fan I am of that. I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology. Even though this latest God of War, a lot of people call it God of War 4, they went to Norse. But the Greek mythology...
And I didn't like it as much.
I did like it. I didn't like it as much as like 1, 2, and 3, and even Ascension. See, here's the funny thing. A lot of people didn't like Ascension, and I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, wait, Ascension is actually a really good game, but if you compare it to like Part 3, yeah, I could see, the unfortunate thing about God of War, if there's a quote bad game in God of War, it's being compared to itself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They just didn't do, talking about GTA, I thought 4 wasn't near as good as San Andreas, and nowhere near as good as 5, but, was it still a good game? Absolutely. I love the God of War series. When I first played that, I love that hack and slash, and, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just button mashing. Play it on God mode. Play the game on God mode. It's going to challenge you. I promise you it's going to challenge you. You actually have to have more strategy going into boss fights especially. You can't just go in there and swing your blades of chaos and you get hit and it ain't going to matter. No, you get hit on God mode, it matters. So you got to have more strategy. Again, the Greek mythology aspect of things, I really, really loved. I loved the mechanics of it. The game was fluid, even back from God of War 1, when they ported the PSP versions over to PlayStation 3. The soundtrack, oh my God, the soundtrack, that orchestra. And Kratos, I love that character. He reminds me of me, like a badass. So, no. I love the character Kratos. I love the backstory. God of War 4, I did like it. You introduced, Atreyu, his son. He's not completely worthless. But yeah, no, God of War is definitely top 5 for me.
Like I said, I was thinking about putting it on my list. But apparently 3 Contra games was more.
3 Contra games. All right, number 2. What you got, buddy?
Zelda.
Legend of Zelda. All right.
All right, Zelda. It's not really going to be a surprise. Anybody who's ever watched this channel, we like Zelda. My favorite game of all time would probably be Link to the Past. The first one, I like it, but I've never played it as a kid. So I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for it.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever gotten halfway through the game.
Okay.
Second one on the NES, nah.
It sucks.
No, I didn't get into Zelda until Link to the Past. That was the first Zelda game I ever really actually played. So that's why I got into it and absolutely loved it. And like everyone since then I've liked to a degree, except for Breath of the Wild. When you have that many games, if you can say, hey, there's only a handful, about 3 or 4 for me, there's a few that I just can't stand. And that would be the 3DS ones, like the Spirit Tracks and Hourglass. And it's not that, they're... Again, I don't super hate them, but I don't like them either. I played them, I beat them, but it was a point where it became a chore. I'm like, I kind of want this to be over with.
Okay, I can
a lot of
that.
It was your hand getting in the way when you're trying to play, and this is stupid. Why would you want to play like that, using the stylus? No, I don't want to use this damn stylus.
I actually hated Wind Waker.
So I loved Wind Waker.
I hated Wind Waker.
I love Wind Waker. Because you just, and a lot of people hate Wind Waker because you're just in the ocean and not a lot's going on. But I like it. I like that. You're just sailing the seas like a pirate. It's fun. It's different.
It is different, but that's not why I didn't like it. I didn't like it because of the camera. The camera and
but the camera is an issue on several.
You're not wrong.
It can on Ocarina of Time, the camera can be an issue sometimes.
You're not wrong.
But I loved Wind Waker. If they did an HD remake on the Switch, I know they did one on the Wii U, but hell, the Wii U I haven't touched. Nobody wants to play Wii U. If they did an HD remake on the Switch, if they ported it over in the Switch, I'd buy in a heartbeat. It's amazing. I love it. But yeah,
just do an HD remake of something recently.
Twilight Princess. No, Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword. That's the one.
But yeah, they're constantly coming out with amazing Zelda games. I didn't like Majora's Mask. In fact, that's probably my least favorite one of all time is Zelda, because that one I've tried to give it a chance.
Worse than the second one on NES.
And again.
Wow, you got to think about it. That's a yes then.
I gotta think about it because honestly, I've only tried to play the one on the second one on the NES, The Adventures of Link. I've only tried to play that a couple times. I only spent 5 or 6 minutes with it. Mm-hmm. I've actually tried to devote time into Majora's Mask each time because I'm like, so many people like this thing. I'm not. There's something I'm missing, and I've tried 3 different times, and I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours each time, and I don't like it. It is what it is.
It's not as good as Ocarina, but I still like it. I like it.
Right.
It's Legend of Zelda. It transcends generations, literal generations of people. My number 2 is going to be Uncharted. It's my number 2.
Like I said, it's going to be my
That's your number 1?
No, it's not.
I was about to say, what? Uncharted is amazing, amazing story, amazing characters. It is Indiana Jones meets Tomb Raider kind of thing. Nathan Drake is the perfect amount of sarcasm and handsome, and I've been with that one from the beginning as well. Talking about masterpieces earlier, right, with Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. Uncharted 4 is probably even closer to perfection than Breath of the Wild to me. It is a fantastic game. It is a fantastic story. The characters are fantastic. All the new characters that they introduced in Uncharted 4. I like the direction they took the story in the franchise. Again, it's definitely this Tomb Raider meets Indiana Jones with just a lot more action. And I'm not a big Tomb Raider guy because I don't feel like there's enough action in Tomb Raider. It's a lot of... See, this is why I don't really like Metal Gear. A lot of just not action, not enough kicking ass. And Uncharted has a lot of ass kicking. I personally think, I know Naughty Dog has said there will not be a 5. I personally think that's a mistake, and I bet we do see a number 5 because Uncharted makes way too much money. for Naughty Dog, and I really hope we see a 5.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I like them.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Honorable mentions?
So, Contra. God of War on mine as well.
Okay. First honorable mention, I'm going to say Resident Evil franchise. And second honorable mention, which I'm going to say is going to be your number 1 here, but I'm going to go the Super Mario franchise.
Okay, so number 1. Number 1 is going to be Super Mario series. And, yeah, no. That's, I mean, what can you say about Mario? It's great.
There's nothing you really need to say. Like,
Yeah,
if people are questioning why you put that there, then...
Just personal. I mean, just personal
Right.
stuff. But my story is going to be the same as virtually like everybody watching. Oh, yeah, Mario. It's what got me into the NES. It got me into... I mean, I was kind of already gaming. You know, you play Atari and television and Atari ST and stuff like that, but... It was nothing like the Mario when it came out. It was like, okay, you gotta have the Mario, no matter what you had.
Well, Super Mario when it came out, like that was not. I don't think it was a pack-in at first, but it became a pack-in, and it was like that was your first experience with a video game with Super Mario. Or sorry, with at least on NES would have been for most people Super Mario Brothers, and compared to coming from Intellivision or ColecoVision or Atari at the time, it was like, holy hell.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's never been a Mario, a standard frontline main Mario game that's been released that I hate. Sunshine's not the greatest, and I probably have the least amount of experience with that. But and you know, even with a lot of people were just started just complaining and moaning about the side-scrolling like new Super Mario Brothers, the ones that came out on the DS and the Wii, and they're like, oh, it's all the same thing. It's all. You know, it just gets boring after a while. It's all the same size. It's a side-scrolling Mario game. And, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for it. If they keep releasing them, I'm going to keep buying them because I'm the sucker. I'm the sucker. Nintendo is looking at this video right now and I'm like, yep, that's how we make our money. Suckers like that.
See, this is the thing, though. Like, Mario is one of those franchises. Legend of Zelda is one of those franchises, and we had both on our list, whether it was actually rated or ranked or honorable mention. It's one of those franchises that is going to sell consoles strictly because you cannot get it on PlayStation or Xbox.
Right.
So if you want to play the latest Mario, the latest Zelda, you have to buy a Switch, and as long as Nintendo keeps those exclusive, and there's no reason they won't, they're always going to be in the video game market.
Yeah, like I rarely buy a new game when it first comes out. Like it rarely happens. I just like, you know what, that's cool. Unless it's like something like I know everybody else around me is going to be playing it, so I'm like I gotta at least do some online stuff. That's fine. That rarely ever happens anymore. When you have a kid, things change. But if a new Super Mario Brothers come out, I'll buy it within the first few days, and that's rare. That's unusual. I mean, I'll do that with Zelda too, but that's one of the very few franchises that's going to happen with, and that's why it's number 1.
Good pick. Good pick. If we're doing a top 10, Mario would be in my top 10 for sure. Probably number 6 behind everything I've mentioned, including my number 1, which is GTA. That was your number 5. You said a lot about GTA, and everything you said was correct and accurate, and even a, quote, bad GTA game is still pretty freaking fire. GTA 4 is my least favorite. It doesn't mean I don't like it, it's just my least favorite. There was a lot of things in GTA 4 that they took out of that were in San Andreas, and that was kind of a problem for me. I like the main character, Nico Bellic. I thought he was cool, but GTA is one of those franchises that I actually played on PS1 in the beginning. And you kind of had a top-down view in certain parts or whatever. And it was cool. And then GTA 3 hit, PlayStation 2. And mind blown. It was ridiculous. Everything that there was to do in there. And GTA, again, like you said earlier, MMOs and all that stuff. But did GTA start the sandbox, I guess, genre on console?
I would I would doubt
Maybe?
it.
No, doubt it.
Doubt
Okay.
it. There's always like that. Oh, this game did it first. There's
Okay, right.
Always
I got
that.
you. Perfected it though, maybe.
Sure.
Okay. Maybe didn't start it, but definitely did it right. I love that they put not everything, but they have put things in certain time periods and time frames. And because of that, you've got seriously one of maybe not unique soundtracks, but one of the best soundtracks in video game history. You know, Vice City was set in 80s Miami, and
See, and that's one thing I didn't mention, but that's really what a big thing for me is like they take each game puts you in a different city in a different era.
yes, I love it. Yeah, go ahead and jump in. Please.
I mean, 5 was essentially San Andreas in terms of like setting,
but modern day.
But yeah, modern day, and while I didn't like 4 as much, it was really cool to go to like a different place. New York City. It was a completely different vibe. So every game has a different vibe.
Sure.
To it.
And it's awesome.
Like you're actual traveling, right? So.
Well, yeah, and not only that, it not only puts you in a different city, but it can put you in that city in a different era too. So even though in 5 we went back to Vice City or Los Santos or what? Sorry, not Vice City. Dumb. You know what I mean? Back to Los Santos because San Andreas was L.A., but L.A. in the 90s. Right. Even character that resembled a Eazy-E, resembled a Nate Dogg kind of, you know what I mean? I liked all the...
Yeah, the Eazy guy. And then
Big Smoke.
The Big Smoke, yeah.
He reminded me of Nate Dogg. Mm-hmm. I love that, a lot of the customization things you could do with your character with CJ in the game. If you wanted to be buff, you just hit the gym. If you wanted to be skinny, you don't. You know what I mean? You could the customization in GTA, it's grown men playing dress up essentially, but they've got a lot of options for customization, shoes and pants and wardrobe and all that kind of stuff. Me and you and Eric would be on every single night for hours and hours and hours playing GTA 5 online. Anytime there was a new update, we would get excited about it.
You wanted to earn a lot of money so you can get like really cool vehicles.
Exactly.
It's like a Sims game.
It kind of is. And the GTA 5 online experience, I think, is unparalleled and unmatched, especially in that franchise. There's, it's not been done better. Which I also think, I want to throw this out there, this is why I think we've not seen a 6, we've not seen an announcement on a 6, and I don't know if we're going to see an announcement on a 6 anytime soon, and I hope this is one of those things where I'm putting my foot in my mouth and Rockstar goes, oh, hey, by the way, GTA 6 is coming. I would love that, actually. But the GTA Online 5 is not done. It's not done. There's still a lot for them to do. And the fact that they give you everything for free, you don't have to pay for any of it.
That's our top 5. Thanks for watching.
That's our top 5 gaming franchises of all time, our own personal favorites. Put your top 5 down below, please. And give us some suggestions on another top 5 video, please.
Yes.